This weekend is the Midwest Political Science Undergraduate Research Conference, which is being held here at Wartburg College. Joining me today is Dr. Brett Bellett, who is one of the founders of this conference. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
So can you just start off by telling me, what is this conference and how is it a benefit for students?
Well, the conference is an annual gathering of undergraduate students as well as faculty from around the Midwestern colleges and universities. And the chief benefit to students is that it's a teaching conference. It's an outlet for them to present their research and get valuable feedback from professors from other colleges.
Now, I understand you've been organizing this event for about the last 25 years, is that correct?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Why did you start this?
Well, at that time, believe it or not, there weren't many outlets for this kind of thing. Today, it seems as if there are a dime a dozen, but a few of us at that point in time decided that it was something that could be used. And so we decided to create it for the Midwestern schools.
Now, like you said, there aren't many conferences like this in this area especially. So how difficult was it to start and maintain the prestige it has had for more than a quarter of a century?
You know, prestige is a nice word. Thank you for that. It was difficult. I mean, not as difficult as you might imagine, because it's not a conference where there's 1,000 people who are attending. But it is still difficult on a yearly basis because it's a traveling conference. We move from city to city, college to college every year. And so there's a new director, a new coordinator, if you will, every year. And so the transitioning from one year to the next sometimes can get a little hairy, but for the most part, it's not problematic. In terms of the continuation of it, there's a core group of us from different Midwestern colleges who have really taken it upon ourselves to make sure the transition goes smoothly and that people who are stepping up and becoming new members, so to speak, are able to do what they need to do in order to hold the conference at their institution.
Now, it's the first time it's being held here at Wartburg since 2008.
That's correct.
How has been planning it? How has that been?
This year it hasn't been difficult at all. It's basically doing the same thing we did in 2008, which was the first time that Wartburg had ever held it. So we used a lot of the things that we already had in place. There have been some additions, some subtractions, of course, but by and large, it's been relatively a smooth transition from last time to this time.
And how many students do you normally have participate?
It varies. This year's a down year for us because we had to do it on a date where many of our colleges and universities are on their spring break. And so many of the folks who typically would come just don't have the time, or the students don't want to do it during their spring break, etc. And that's understandable. But typically anywhere from 20 to 50 students a year. We usually have, this year I think we have a dozen colleges and universities represented, and I think there'll be upwards of 30 papers presented.
Wow. Now, Senator Charles Grassley is the guest of honor.
That's correct.
How was he chosen?
Well, as you probably know, Senator Grassley, Chuck, he's a very dignified individual. He's a person that commands a lot of respect in the Senate chamber, and that's the type of person that we want to have come in and model for our students the kinds of behaviors and so forth that we'd like to see in them. He's also a political science undergraduate and graduate student, by the way, and so he's one of us, so to speak, in terms of academics and as well in terms of practicing as well.
Now, are you scared that Grassley will be asked questions about the obstruction of the Supreme Court nomination by the students?
Oh, not at all. I expect that that would be the case. Not that we're hoping for something contentious necessarily, but Chuck's been in the Senate for 35 years. And he'll be in the Senate probably 6 more years after the elections this fall. He's well-versed, well-skilled in how to handle these kinds of questions. And again, I would expect that someone will probably ask about the situation with regard to potential obstruction. And it'll probably be asked in a very dignified way, respectful of Senator Grassley, I'm sure.
All right, well, sounds like an exciting weekend you have in store.
I hope so.
All right, well, thank you for joining me this morning, and have a great weekend. It starts tomorrow, right?
It starts tomorrow in the early evening. We have a banquet tomorrow night where Senator Grassley will be present. He'll also be part of the awards ceremony during the banquet. And then Saturday, we'll have more panel presentations, and that'll be it.
All right, well, perfect. Have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you for having me.